Hey guys, Michael Heit here. Just a quick note. We are going to be starting this book, Fierce Intimacy by Terry Real. For episode 10, we're going to ask that if you want to join us to talk about this discussion, that you get through the first half of the book. So the book is divided into different lessons, different parts. So that's part 1 and part 2. Get through the first half of the book by Terry Real, Fierce Intimacy. I listened to mine on Audible. Typically speaking, you can get an Audible free credit here or there if you sign up. There might be one way to do it. You could probably look it from your library. But I believe it's only in audio format. So something that maybe you want to check out. And without further ado, we're going to jump right in the show. This week at Hey the Parents, we're talking all about what it means to raise kids right now. In a world that looks nothing like the one we grew up in, even from the time our kids were babies until now, so many things have changed. Every generation has faced its own versions of hard, but millennial parents are juggling a whole new mix. From nonstop work expectations, to rising costs, to tech-filled classrooms, social media stress, and constant feelings that we're supposed to be doing it all, we'll talk about how the optics around parenting have changed, how it's not just what we do as parents, but how it looks online, at school, and even other parents. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to ask whether changing our approach isn't such a terrible idea after all. Maybe we could do some reflecting, ease up on the guilt, and give ourselves a little grace in 2025. Because in Hey the Parents, it's an honest discussion about raising kids. I'm Michael Heit.
I'm Sara D.
And I'm Mike Levine.
Kids don't come with a handbook, so we need your help.
Where do babies come from?
Where do you think they come from?
Is this a kissing book?
Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
I learned it by watching you.
There are no rules in this house. Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
We sent them to the best boarding schools. We hired the best nannies. We did everything right.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
No drinking, no drugs, no kissing, no tattoos, no piercings, no ritual animal slaughters of any kind.
Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
This is Hey Other Parents, an honest, messy, imperfect show for raising kids.
Hey, welcome back. It's us
What's
again.
up?
Hello. Toodly-doo.
How we doing all?
How's it going?
How's it going, Mike Levine? You feeling all right?
Oh, you know, I'm doing all right. A little tummy ache, but I'm good. I'm good to go. Let's do it.
So we were talking before the show, and we were just like, this episode is going to be all about raising kids now, how the whole landscape has changed. And while we're talking about all this and how things have maybe even changed in the time that our kids were little, the time until now, Mike Levine went way back. He was like, we're going back to the beginning, and he went to Applebee's, and
Yes.
sometimes when you eat when you're younger, late at night.
Yeah, man. I went to Applebee's to have that nostalgia factor with a friend, and yeah, I think I'm too old for Applebee's.
Back to the humble beginnings,
Yes,
Yeah.
your palate is more refined now.
Yeah.
Now you're kind of more of a Ruby Tuesdays kind of guy,
Yeah.
well, so
Classy.
we welcome you back to this ridiculous podcast where we try to figure out how to be parents. We're so glad that you're here to join us. We figure out this parenting thing. For season 3 of Hey the Parents, whether you're in the car, folding laundry, out to dinner at Applebee's, cooking dinner, getting organized around the go. We know that you have a lot of choice for podcasts out there, so thank you for listening to ours. And of course, we'd like to send a big welcome to our new moms and dads listening, and a big hearty hello to the returning listeners who are back to put up with us for yet another episode for this 3rd season of Hey the Parents. So if this is your first time joining us on this podcast, Hey the Parents, it's a chance for a few of us parents who decided that we need to join our efforts together and try to get through this raising kids thing, as we call it, a survival course. We pick a different theme, a different topic each week, where we discuss it from the standpoint of when we were younger, growing up with our own parents, and then we shift on over to now as adults, where we certainly did not get a handbook for our own kids. We talk about what we go through, we share some of our experiences, and we learn from each other, and every week we feel a little bit better because we have each other and we have all of you. We'd love to hear from you guys for our show. This is kind of the theme of the episode. The question this week is, what differences do you see now as parents compared to when you were a kid? If you'd like to answer this question, have comments or questions for the show, you can get in touch with us in one of 3 ways. 1, you can leave a message on our Hey the Parents voicemail line. 2, you could email the show. Or 3, you could join us on social media. All of that information is in the show notes. Why not pause the episode right now and tell us about how things have changed for you from the time when you were a kid. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the main part of the podcast, and that entails the topic of the week. Sara D, what are we talking about today?
All right, so we're talking about parenting in this technology, social media, fast-paced modern age, and all the pressures that come with trying to, Yep, exactly. Keep our families grounded while we're balancing it all out. You know, I feel like our parents had it so much simpler in some ways, but not.
They really did. I feel like this is like that. I feel like this is that situation now, right? Where like, you know, they're like, oh, I don't understand why, you know, back in my day, only one person had to work and our house cost $20,000. And now you're like, well, hey, guess what? 2 people can work and they still can't afford a house. So
Exactly.
so definitely changed. And then you go to Applebee's, you try to order, they hand you an iPad, everything goes south. Yeah.
Regrets.
We are not sponsored by Applebee's if you haven't noticed.
But we were, you know, we were talking before the show, and I threw something in the show notes, and Mike Levine was like, wait, you have 3 different apps to order lunch? And I was like, hey, that's not right. Yeah. And what I was talking about for the show was that I was like, man, we have like so many apps for just school. We have an app to refill their you know, their lunch money, whatever it is. Like, this is my school bucks that pays for like the you know, instrument rentals and that sort of thing. Then we have an app that's like a parenting one called Parent Square, where like there's messaging for the teachers and stuff like that, and like little updates and PTA events. And then they have a third one, which is just so you can see your kid's schedule and their grades. And then there's probably more where you like a Sign Up Genius one to go like sign up for events. This is what has happened. This is crazy town. And like, It's funny because like you don't realize all of these changes and like all of the stuff that's been kind of like just been different, because it feels like it's just kind of creeped on a little bit here, a little bit there. But when you just take a moment to like, just be like, let's just pause and reflect, you're like, what is actually going on? It's crazy.
Or like the whole idea is that all these apps are supposed to make your life so much easier. But then I find myself like, if I'm talking to a parent, or like Julie mentioned something or Sophia mentioned something, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I must have missed a message. And I'm like, on which app, you know, what email chain, what parent group did I miss out on? And so I have to look through everything to find it. And then of course it's like, you didn't subscribe to that, you know, like.
Right. And we're talking about like, it's also made your email so overly crowded. It's almost like you can't even rely on your email to be a thing anymore, because there's so many updates about so many things that you're like, somewhere in here. And it's such that ridiculous energy of like, I'm sure like, you know, our parents now we started selling them, but it's not even just that. We were talking too about this episode is like that you go to an event, something like Spirit Week or Halloween, or your kid goes to something, and things have become so much more elaborate. And it's not even that, it's the social pressures of this thing where it's like a simple thing like a dance that used to be free for every kid is now like $25 or $30 to go, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like how much information is good. Like I remember when I was a kid, right? And I used to get $2 from my mom for like lunch every day, right?
And you could buy a house with that back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, and my mom would give me like, you know, $2 to go get food or whatever. And my mom wouldn't know if I ate lunch or not. And what I did was I saved the $2. I saved the $2 and I bought my own like Star Wars action figures, and my mom thought she ate lunch. Thought I ate lunch. Now, like I could see if my son ordered lunch, what he ordered, you know, all through the app. And when he comes home, why didn't you eat lunch? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Why just bag of chips?
Right. Why just bag of chips or why snacks? So there was a sense of independence that we had when we were younger that was like, you know, it was great, you know, but at the same time, now I see the other side of it being a parent. I'm like, oh my God, you know, why didn't he eat? What's going on? You know what I mean?
This overly policing is going to bite us in the ass at some point, because they're going to be like, you don't need to be watching me every 5 seconds, you know?
Yeah. But then like also
so
too, with like the events, like there was a plant sale the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, another event. And Taylor, my wife, is like, oh, we need to get mums. I'm like, we don't need mums. She's like, no, I need mums, and they're good and it supports the school. I'm like, we're not getting mums.
And then it's going to freeze and all the mums are going to die. What is... Where is the missing component to this?
We gotta rescue them.
I come home and there's mums on the porch.
But don't they make the house look so
mums
aesthetic?
Are off. They're not part of negotiation. Like when you're a couple and you're married, if one person in the relationship says they're getting mums, the other person has no power.
Mums on the mums.
Apparently. I do have to admit, they were really nice. I came home and it looked good.
Yeah,
so like to her defense, they picked good mums. But I mean,
is Taylor listening to the podcast again?
And now she
Darn
could go
mums.
to like I know now she could go to the parent line too and be like, well, I
Yeah,
bought 3 mums. It was such a
Yeah,
good deal.
exactly.
A humble brag. Well, I bought like 8. Oh wow, that's amazing. Like,
You're gonna be like, I went to
See, like,
Trader
that
Joe's
goes
and I got
back
mums
to,
that
like-
match my table scope.
Right. Well, I was just gonna say that goes back to like the aesthetics. Like, there is such a push, I think, for like moms and dads, like where it's like everything has to be done just so. So
Yes.
like you need to have the cute bento box like meal with the like little panda bear, rice thing instead of just like your leftovers from last night or because even like the other day Julian was like I've been struggling with like meal prepping and stuff like that like this year so far, like we're failing.
Join the club.
Julian's eating at school lunches, and like meanwhile Sophia like never had a school lunch. Like I had to force this child to eat a sandwich. Meanwhile,
Right.
Julian's
Meanwhile,
just,
you're talking about like, I mean, this is crazy. What's their age difference?
4 years.
Right?
4 years.
I feel like,
Yeah.
not to interrupt you, I think like a lot's changed even in 4
A
or 5
lot's
years.
changed. Yes.
Yeah.
So like Julian the other day, he was like, he's like my friend, his mom, she makes like all these like this great like pupusas or whatever. And like she makes plenty for all of us.
Ooh,
and like he
pupusas.
shares with all of us. I'm like, well, thanks. Does she know that she's feeding all you guys? And like, I'm like, oh my God.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
this
Your
poor
pupusa.
mom is making all this food and she's feeding my child, because I'm not making food for my kid. And I'm like, well, do you want me to make like empanadas so like you can share with your friends too the next
God.
time? Like I'm like, oh my God, like there's pressure. And he's like, yeah, and then his dad makes steak and it tastes delicious. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm failing
Sorry,
you.
you didn't get the Sign Up Genius link. You're actually making lunch next week for everybody.
I know. I like seriously. I'm like, oh my God. But like they're like everyone's like sharing meals, and I'm like, meanwhile, my kid's like getting like the cold turkey sandwich. I'm like,
Yeah,
But meanwhile, with Sophia's friends, they were all getting the cold turkey sandwich, and she was coming in with like her leftovers, and I was like, whoops. I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever.
suddenly like she's probably like, "Are you kidding me? Like, everybody wants this stuff."
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right, I'll catch up.
It's true, Sarah. You bring up a great point of like just you feel that pressure. And especially if you like don't participate in an event,
Yes.
right? Like, oh man, like we're not, with this whole mums thing, like, we always want to support, and we do support a lot.
Absolutely.
We help out, but it's like we don't need to be a part of every
Every event.
event, dropping like $35 here, $25 here, $45 here, whatever the event is. It's like, but you feel that pressure,
Yes.
like, oh man, the Levines were one of the ones that didn't
Like buy at least one mum. I mean,
buy a mum.
come on, guys, you can't afford a mum.
Exactly.
But the thing is that listening to all the people that are out there, listening, if you're involved in your PTA or you're involved in your school, this is something that we were talking about, my wife and I, before. Just add an option for people to donate directly. Some people don't want the
Yes.
mums. Some people don't want the tablecloths. Some people
Correct.
don't want to buy the stuff in the book fair. They're like, here's $10. Put this towards
Right.
the classroom.
That's a
Why
great.
Or just
we
don't have the
add that
time.
as an
Set up like a
option?
Venmo.
Yes, or don't have the time to go
Yeah.
because not every parent can pick up their child to go get the mums and their child. Like,
Right,
just
right.
donate the $10. I did my part, and
Yeah, like you may not have $35 right now to buy a
Right.
mum. You know what I mean? But you want to
You have
help out,
$10,
donate like
yeah.
$10.
I mean,
Because
or
at the
maybe
end of
like,
the day, they're not
or,
going to get $35. They're going to get a percentage. So the $10 is probably more than they would have
Yeah,
gotten.
yeah.
or we could like donate those mums to
Yeah.
someone, like, okay, so like 3
Like the
families
Levines.
donate $10. Yeah. And they could give a mum to somebody or like to a teacher. That'd be nice.
Right.
That's going to be your promo for
Wild
Mother's Day.
idea.
Give a mum.
Give a mum. Give a mum a mum. I love
The
it.
time would be right.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, all this stuff. It's way different than we were. I don't know. I feel when we were a kid. Obviously, I'm coming from the perspective of a child. Who knows what my mom went through? But I feel like she didn't have to go through as much as we're going through nowadays with all the technology and things of letting us know, letting our parents, or we're the parents letting us.
Because
Yeah,
my wife
no,
saying you come at it from the
Don't know what
perspective of a
kids.
child too sometimes.
I'm still a child.
Yeah.
No, but I
do we,
think about like my mom, like,
Oh, yeah.
she would just like make, like, I don't know, like, I don't even know how they communicated with each other. All I just know is just like, she brought in like a dozen cupcakes for like whatever bake sale. And like, that was her contribution for the year. That was it. You know,
Well, it was
like
also like just like you didn't
exactly.
ask, you just kind of did, and it was just like, there's a bake sale, you want to help out, and then I think like you're like, well, this is for the class, we just do it, you know, and then, but nobody was like, oh, you're making this, I'm going to make this because you're making brownies, so I have to make, you know, whatever. But they just did. So if there were 50 brownies showed up, that was all there was, you know.
yeah, no, seriously, I think so.
But I think like some of the things that, you know, what we could do is we could kind of like look at like the main part of the topic and kind of go figure out kind of where it all kind of makes sense, because things were so different. Like one of the things is like we feel that like we have to be always on as parents, and I think like it's so much like one of those things where like I don't even think you realize it. I feel like it's the whole shift has changed where like you feel this immense guilt if we aren't like with our kids or with them all the time. Like when we were younger, I think like we would go to our rooms and just play with our toys, and they wouldn't leave our bedrooms, and we would just have time to hang out in the bedroom and play with our toys and make a mess, and then we'd clean it up. But now as parents, I feel like the toys have leaked into the main area of the house, and we're sitting there, and the kids, you kind of almost feel this pressure to be around them and to kind of be like always on or always around to kind of be with them, and it's enjoyable, but you don't really feel like you get a break. You know, you guys kind of feel like that's something that's kind of changed for you?
You know what it is? I feel like, because it's not like you don't want your kids to be independent or like do things, but I feel like we have now been so, at least with Sophia, it felt like, and with Julian, like every play has to be slightly meaningful. Like the toys have to be meaningful. It just can't be like something stupid, like, you know, like a dumb 99-cent thing. Like everything, like it just felt like, well, if you play with this toy, it helps them start reading, and if you make them roll around like 8 more times, the vestibular system will, you know, help with their reading and like reading and mathing, and like everything felt like it, like everything when like with Sophia, it felt like it had to, like, did you start reading to your kid when they're newborns, and everything has to be black, white, and red because that's all they see.
They're
you
2
know?
days old. What percentile are they in? Like, come on, man.
So like, I just feel like there's always been like that pressure, and I feel like, you know, obviously our parents probably had some pressures, but like my parents were like on their knees on the floor with me playing. Like they were just like, here, play, you know? And like, yes, did I struggle with some reading when I was older and math? Yeah, I sure did. but you know, like, did I have a wildly crazy imagination? You know, am I a curious person? I think so, because I was left alone to my own devices for a bit. But, you know, like, I just felt like there was like that pressure, like when we were raising our kids little versus like, I think our parents weren't like as hands-on with every moment being meaningful, you know?
Right, like they would be kind of hanging
quote
out.
unquote meaningful, you know?
Right, because like now, like you're right, because
is it
I'm
really
sure
meaningful?
there weren't devices called baby Einstein play tables when we were growing up.
Great.
You know?
Yeah, I was you know, Taylor and I were having a similar discussion about this the other day, and I literally told her, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a parent anymore. I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
Can I give up? Can I throw in the towel?
Right.
You know? Just because, like, dude, you know, we're tired. We are tired because we're always on. It feels like we're always on. Even like last night, like, you know, the kids, like, they're all sleeping in their beds. Everything's good. Me and Taylor go to sleep, and then they come in out of nowhere in the middle of the night and sneak in our bed and sleep with us. And God, we love our children, of course, right? But like, we just want to, we want to, you know, a break. We just want a break. Just a break. I mean, I'm sorry. Am I? Is it bad for me to say that?
No, you don't say it.
It'd be funny, like Mike Levine just gets up and leaves the podcast, and it's like, I'm done.
Exactly. Like, I just wanna,
yes, just for a moment, like just, you know, like not,
because to speak to what you're saying, it's like we're always on, you know, and whether it's whether it's dinner, whether it's sleeping, whether it's the kids want to play. You know, and then that's the other thing. Like, you play with them, and then it's like you say no the one time, and they make you feel like you never play with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I'm just tired. I don't want to play right now, sweetie. Like, oh, but Dad, you never play with us.
Right? And you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, we literally have a day assigned for Family Fun Day, which is Sunday, and we all play video games. We play together. Like,
why do you only play with us on Sundays?
Exactly.
Right, just Sunday.
Exactly. Like,
Oh God.
you know,
And then like,
so, I don't
because like
know.
remember like back in the day, like you would go outside, like you were like it was like wake up, do a chore or something like that, have some breakfast, and then get out of the house. And it was like your day was your day. Like you did whatever.
Yeah.
You checked in for lunch. You checked in for dinner. Like well, everyone. I remember like everyone in the neighborhood. It would be like Sarah, Anthony, Luke, Willie, and Billy. You know, like it'd be like Danielle. Like people were shouting, and I was like, all right, gotta go. My mom's calling me. You know, and I was like, all right. And then it's like the one kid who didn't get called in yet was like, well, guess I gotta go home. Like, yeah, Steve, go home.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And we all like ran inside.
I remember,
and that was it.
That's the same thing that happened to me, Sarah. Like I lived in a cul-de-sac,
Me too.
you know, and literally everybody in the cul-de-sac, there was like 6 houses, and everybody was around the same age. We all played like baseball outside, stickball, whatever, and we'd play manhunt. We'd stay out till like dark, and then somebody's mom or dad from down the road would like yell out their names, and I'm like, oh, gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm like to my daughter, you know, I'll text you when it's time to come home or something.
My people will talk to your people.
Exactly.
No, I'm definitely like text me like Julian like
Crazy.
now is like he's like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with like Monroe and whoever else, like he's gonna walk around the neighborhood. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, what do you guys think you're gonna do? How far? I don't want you here, I don't want you there. And like my mom said like we couldn't get past a certain point as well, but like she didn't really care after that. It was like, don't go past Joey's house. And it was like, all right, cool. And then like like major roads, and like
right?
for like me, I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the park. All right, are you gonna hang out by her house, or who else's house are you gonna go to? And then I'm like checking the app every once in a while to make sure he's like in the neighborhood. You know.
And that's the difference. That's the difference, because we would tell our parents we wouldn't go, but then we would go because we kind of like maybe push the little button a little bit just to see how far we can get away with it. Now our kids can't do that. I have you on Life 360,
like,
kid.
I'm going to
I know where you at.
Exactly.
You know.
It's Life 360. Whatever it is. Yeah.
So.
But I feel like there's this definitely like a thing where like we're faced with boredom, you know?
Yeah.
As kids, like it was like, fine, figure it out. Or my mom was standing there with the class phone list. She'd be like, call a friend.
No
like,
pressure.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, call up. You'd have to call, talk to the parents, ask if the kids are around, say hello. Are you free?
Next one.
No.
She's
Move
like,
on to the
AK,
next
get
one.
out of my
You know,
face.
it was just-
You find a play
go
date.
do something. Be bored. Right. I am not your friend. Go find one. And that's kind of how it was. But like, I think that's some of the things too. Like, I feel like one of the things that maybe for us, like, I'm sure you guys kind of in the same boat. Like, I think we're realizing it now. Like, it's okay for your kids to be bored. Like, let them be bored.
Yeah.
We were bored.
Yeah.
You know, we got creative. You know, throw them a stack of some creative artwork or whatever. I mean, they go, you know, give them some Steam stuff to build some stuff.
Yeah,
and they kinda have
definitely.
fun with that.
I remember,
you know, the younger
I
ones,
remember
you know.
when I was younger, I called my mom and told her like I was bored, and she was at work, and she gave me like a mouthful over the phone. She's like, "Don't you ever tell me you're bored again. Figure it out."
Oh,
you know,
that's
like,
hysterical. I love that.
And on a second note, don't ever call my work again.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know, she gave me her number in case of emergency.
You're like, this is an emergency.
So, like,
I'm
I
bored.
called the number. Yeah,
It's an emergency.
Super bored.
The emergency is
like
nothing on
in
TV.
my house, you
playing
never
games.
said you're bored because Carmen will find something for
Yeah.
you to do. Trust me, there was something to be
you can
cleaned.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
you got
Yep.
time to lean, you got time to clean. Oh man.
Oh.
Hey, what about like I feel like, you know, things that maybe didn't change necessarily as much. I feel like is maybe like, you know, the schoolwork, maybe parenting involvement and that sort of thing. I feel like, you know, it depends. I mean, my mom was a teacher, so maybe it's a little bit different, but I feel like, you know, I was like plopping my butt down at the dinner table and it was like, you're doing your work here. But I feel like, you know, maybe I've carried some of the same stuff over to like now. Do you guys, I feel like it's been different with Sarah's
Exactly.
Like,
no, I
I
was not left on my own, man. I had to figure it out. No, but like my mom set up like that routine. It was like, come home, take your uniform off, have a snack, do your homework. And I was like a good kid, so I just followed the rules. My brother, on the other hand, used to scream, cry, and give her a heck of a hard time. So I was just like, all right, let me be the chill one over here. You're welcome, Mom. But like,
right.
But like when it came to projects, I always think about that. And that's why I help my kids with projects, is because I think about that big oak tag, that huge piece, and the tiniest drawing right in the middle with the lettering that was so crooked. And everyone had theirs. It was beautiful with stickers, and like their parents definitely helped them, because there was no way everyone was that organized and creative. And mine was like the crappiest. Mine was the shoddiest one there.
That's right.
You know, and I was like, oh man, like it made me so sad. Like, you know, I was like, I wish I had a parent that helped me.
You know what? Oh my God, it was crazy.
Oh my God, I feel bad.
No, you just completely like memory unlocked. I feel like there was this like with my parents, I feel like that there was this distinct, like my dad was different. My dad wasn't a teacher, so I think my mom, like it was big for her to be like, you got to do this yourself. Like she would help when she realized that like I was like losing my junkers and I couldn't handle it anymore, because like. Yeah, sometimes the library visits and the photocopying and the like grabbing stuff and putting it all together was like no man's land for me. I don't have the capacity,
That's awesome.
But like we would look at projects, and my mom, I remember like science fair stuff, or whatever else, she would just get this like get mad. She'd be like, oh, parents did that for them. Like she would be like, she really, really wanted to make sure that like it wasn't ever like over glammed up, where it wasn't like my sister or I doing the work. Yeah. So good job, Mom. Good job. But there was definitely that pressure of like making it look perfect, and it would be almost like an irritation for her, when like, cause like, you know, it's obvious. You could tell. Yeah. You know, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now like everything looks so perfect. You're like, you know, what is this? You know, or like the idea of like how much is actually your kid's work and how much is like Amazon.
Yes.
You know, it's you know, got to be some good quality stuff in there somewhere.
I know. You know, that's the difference between Taylor and I. Is like she always wants to help out with our kids, like in their work, and like help it like be perfect. And I'm like, you know, Taylor, like, you know, this is their project. Let them mess up. It's okay. It's fine. You know, whatever. But you know, I guess it's like the pressure of like everybody else creating and helping, and like, you know, we want it. You know, we want our kids to be on the same level. I guess so. You know, whereas I'm like, just let it happen. She's like, oh no, it's gotta, this A is crooked. We gotta make it straight, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's hard, man. Especially when you got different feelings inside, you know, it doesn't come from nowhere, but you know, that's what like, I like when kids like, you know, when our kids make goofy stuff, like they go through these phases, like for like Ethan for a little bit, like every time he made a card, it would always be the same card of him holding hands with whoever he's giving the card to. Like, it was always stick figures. And we would laugh. It was like, that was like his style, his thing, you know? Dude, but I could see it. Like, I feel, you know, sometimes you feel the pressure and you're like, wait, why am I getting involved? Like, this is so stupid. Like, this is their project. This is okay,
absolutely. But like, I'm just talking about like just the basic, like, hey, you have all this space. Let's fill it up. And not here's one little
you're like cigarette. There's only 95% of the blank oak tag left.
It was like, the picture was
poor Sara D. What episode was that? Do you remember? What were we talking about?
It was like say no to drugs or smoking, and it was literally a little cigarette person. It was so small and skinny, and it was just like he was angry, and it was like, don't be a butthead, and I spelled butthead wrong too on top of that with only one T, not two. Oh man,
that's even better.
Like I had the only one with a correction on it.
What is butehead? Yeah, exactly.
I tried, man. I tried.
Oh man. I respect everything you did there.
You did good.
Thanks. Don't be a
Sarah.
butthead, man. Don't be a butthead. Don't smoke cigarettes.
Don't be.
As my dad was like smoking a cigarette, watching me do it. Like, good job, kid.
Exactly. Blowing the smoke in your face. Good job, kid.
Thanks, Dad.
Gosh, and I think we all went through that phase of like, oh, we can make everything look old. By like,
that was the best. With the tea.
By like making tea
and then brushing
it with tea. When did tea bags become the good de facto, like, let's make everything look like an Indiana Jones map?
That was like so, that was so ecstatic.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's definitely a difference too. Like when we were younger, like nothing was really there that made things look like something out of a movie or out of a thing or a character. Like you had to like borrow stuff from your parents or like make it look that way, like with a bad teabag experience.
Crumble the
or anything
paper.
else. Like now you could just buy the things like stickers and things that make it look like the actual thing itself.
Yeah.
Feels like cheating.
Totally.
It feels like,
You know?
because it is cheating. It is cheating. We're cheating.
But with that comes cost,
Lord.
right? So the cost of
Yes.
everything. We talk about the cost, right? Yeah. So we're a little crotchety. We got always on cost of everything, the screens and parenting optics. So we're gonna talk about the cost of everything now, which we did allude to before. But this feeling, this pressure of keeping up with everyone.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like it's just like you look to your left, you look to your right, and then I feel like maybe I feel like I hate to genderize it, but it feels like maybe. I think some boys sometimes with sneakers is a kind of a thing, and then girls with what they're wearing sometimes is more of a thing. But I don't think it's even that way anymore. I think both boys and girls, I think they both have this ridiculous thing of like overpriced sweatshirts and everything else. So it doesn't really matter, what the gender is really. Yeah.
Like this year when we were getting clothes for Lucas for middle school, I think that's when it really changed. Like, Ellie's in elementary school, and Hayden same thing. So like they don't really care about.
Is that how you remember their name?
So they don't really care about like clothes. Ellie more so, but she doesn't care for brand names and stuff. But when Lucas went into middle school, he was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta get Under Armour. I gotta get Adidas. I gotta get." I'm like, whoa, what happened now all of a sudden? And he never cared about clothes. He always wanted his dinosaurs. Right. His Godzillas, that's what he cared about, his video games. And now all of a sudden we care about clothes and brands and what it looks like. And I'm like, what is going on?
You're like, all right, we're going to TV Max. Let's go.
Seriously.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I don't know what made the switch, but I guess, it just turned on. And like, oh my God, now the pressure and like these things are more expensive. And we actually we wound up spending more this summer on his clothing, obviously, because, there was more name brand stuff than we did ever. And with the other two girls combined.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it was it was just crazy.
Because you don't want them to be like completely decked out, but like you want them to have like at least some of the things.
Yeah.
Like
something,
like cool,
right? Like something.
Like Julian has like two cool sweat hoodies, but then he has like regular regular brand hoodies or whatever, he's totally like into, like he goes to Catholic school, so he has just a uniform, but he's like, Mom, he's like, the only way to show like you have some swag is like your hoodie and stuff like that, like with Catholic school.
I was just gonna ask, like, is that how? How is that what it is?
It's like hoodies, or like he asks for like a pack of like he's probably gonna kill me, like those like bracelets. He's like, oh, all the guys are wearing bracelets now, like like these like like rope bracelets and stuff. So I got him a little pack from Amazon. So, but like even his outside stuff, he still wants to have like nice things. And like, forget it, Sophia's always been into like whatever she's wearing. So again, like, just like trying to keep up, but like they kind of know like to mix it up. Like, like I'm like, okay, we get some things here, some things there, and if you mix it all in together, you look expensive. You're good to go.
But I feel like, exactly. That's crazy too, because it feels like almost like, it's an age thing too. I don't think it really changed a whole lot from when we were kids. It just feels like it's gotten more expensive, but I feel like, when they were in like elementary school or middle school, you have this pressure to like dress the same as everyone else. Like you feel like you can't really differentiate. You kind of like gotta like match everybody. And then you get to high school and then you kind of develop your own style, and that maybe that's changed too, because we're not really there yet. But I feel like that same pressure of like, the freaking Air Jordans came out and then the pumps, and it was like, yes, I just dated the hell out of myself. But I feel like that's like that started, and then it was just mayhem, Then I show up my Payless Fit store.
I love Payless even as a kid. As a kid,
yeah, me too. But like, other kids would rag on me because it was like, it would look at what you're wearing, like it would be like a joke of like, Adidas. That's Sarah. You said that, right? That was like, I remember back. Those. Yeah, but it was like the same idea, And like, look, it's like you have that situation as parents. Like, are you gonna keep up? You gonna let your kids, get a little thick skin, or are you gonna kind of try to like make it somewhat in the middle? And like what Sarah's saying, I kind of like that. Like it's like get a couple things that aren't too crazy, and then have some regular stuff that is just like normal. Like they should see that you don't have a limited credit card funds for their
right.
For the, right. Yeah, because
the lifestyle, right, which is your lifestyle. It's like crazy. Correct. Theirs should be better than yours, right?
Because you're also protecting them too, right? You're protecting them from like being made fun of because you know kids will do that. Kids are scary. You know, they will make fun of them.
It's true, but like, are you teaching them financial, intelligent financial spending too, right? Like, because like, what is financial spending? I guess it's the same thing. But I feel like there's that aspect too of like, you just can't have everything, and like maybe on the over dramatic extent, my mom was like,
right. No, seriously.
But I feel like that's I don't know the right way.
Well, but teaching like, financial. So like for the kids, it's like, all right, like you want something like, you know what, like look around, find a better price. Like, cause right now that price is not good. So if you want it, find something comparable or that same thing on sale somewhere. Cause I don't have the mental capacity to look for stuff online. Like, sheesh. No. And then like another thing too, like another cost of stuff is like for at least Sophia, we're reaching that age now where it's like all that, the college prep stuff. That is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And that is so important because like, I mean, I didn't get a tutor. I didn't do any SAT prep stuff other than what like the school gave me. And that was a joke because it was like a hangout class really. But like, like now it's like she needs like a tutor. She needs like someone who's going to look over her essays. She needs like a, now they call it like a college prep coach, and I got a really good recommendation from a friend at work or whatever. Wow. And they're wonderful, intense. But like, you think about it, like, she's competing, your child's competing with all these other kids who also have this privilege of getting coaches for college, and you want the best. So like, not even just like the stuff we're wearing. It's just like, but you drop a pretty penny each session, You're
at an unfair disadvantage if you don't.
So it's like that pressure too, because you want like the best for them as well. Because again, like for me, my college looking experience was not much of a talk. To be honest with you, it really wasn't. Right. It was like, you're going to go to college, you'll figure it out. And I was like, even like because I went to private school, even then, and now like they're well known for like their college stuff now. But like when Gene and I went to Kellenberg, like my advisor was literally my social studies teacher, and like he was just like, I just applied to like some schools, and like they didn't like talk about really scholarships. They didn't talk about like what size school you want to go to and all these options. Like, and even then, like I was like, I wasn't going away, so I just knew that I was applying to local schools. I applied to literally 3 schools. I got into all 3. And then I wound up at Nassau Community College. Anyways, like, there was no talking. There was no college visits. There was no like college fair my parents brought me to. Like, there was, and I'm really making my parents seem like neglectful, but like they were just so busy with so many like. But
but like it's how are your if your parents don't know, how are they supposed to know?
They were just so like
things, right?
They had other things to worry about. My dad was a Brooklyn kid. He went to I forgot what college he went to. My mom, came here, exchange student, stayed, and then like went to the country college, and they own their own businesses. So I think they thought that I was going to just fall into the insurance business as well and call it a day, and like my dad was just like, and then you'll get married and your husband will take care of you and you'll be good to go. And I'm like, cool. Like,
you're like, didn't you know that? Didn't you know?
Right. Like dad, like that was not like the way of life. So like, my college experience was like, like prep stuff was just like, whatever, I went to college.
Yeah.
It's funny because like with you saying it, like it really is, it's the dynamic of like your parents. Like my parents ended up going away for grad school later on. So like I was motivated to like want to go out of New York State. I thought it'd be really cool to do that. So that had to be a cost of like a school that wasn't insane. And when I say it, it sounds like I'm crazy, but Clemson wasn't expensive. It wasn't really that expensive compared to like what private schools and other things could be. But when we went and I saw it and we saw a bunch of schools, I loved it, but I wasn't getting in with my current SAT scores. So my parents went to the computer store and got an SAT prep CD-ROM. And my mentality of that was, I was so distracted. I think I was playing video games. So they were like, they signed me up for like a SAT short, math and ELA, whatever it was, like class. And I'm so fortunate because then I was able to raise my score, by 100 points, and then I could get in. But that was dicey, man. But like I finally got motivated when I was told like, no, I wasn't going to get in unless I did something about it. But that's like, that's hard because, where do you find that balance? But, that's even a time where, maybe I wasn't competing like it is now against all these other people. So like what you're saying really, that holds some gravity because look, I mean, Mike and our kids are getting a little bit older, but we're not there yet, but we will be soon.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've got to keep in mind to save a little money on the side because some of those things
you can't do on your own. And again, it's that pressure of like, how many colleges have you visited so far? Do they want a big school, middle school, large school? And I'm like, I don't know, because I really have no idea. And same thing with Jean. Jean was raised with parents who did not go to college here. And so we were both on our own figuring this stuff out. So like with Sophia, we're totally like with Sonisha, we definitely navigated some of this stuff. But that's a different dynamic. She also had her mom to kind of help her. And then like now, like this one's all on all on our own. Like, and we're like, oh my God, like we're kind of like just figuring it out. But all we know is that we're competing with people who have a stronger background in that stuff. So it's like, we got to keep her with that,
I think it's it's important to realize, like, we get caught up in these pressures and these stresses and things, and you guys are doing it on your own, but you're making it work the best way you can for yourselves. And there's no right way for this, take understanding in that the way you guys are doing it is the right way because it's the right way for you guys. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do it any other way that anybody else is doing it, but it makes you feel that way because of all these pressures that people put on you. Like, oh my God, like it's crazy. And, I think, this is relatable to like even at the elementary school level, like you feel the pressures of all these other things that all these other parents are doing. And you know what? At the end of the day, me and Taylor are doing it the way that we feel is best. And, hopefully it works out. We don't know if it'll work out, but you know what? It's what works
in
for
this
us.
moment.
So,
Well, thank you, Mike Levine. You make me feel so good now. Like, no, but it's true because even on the elementary level, it was like, oh, are you putting your kid in extra blah, blah, blah? And it's like,
yes.
I don't know.
No,
they're just chilling.
No.
I think it depends too, I think like there's definitely like an overly dramatic like feeling that you probably have to do certain things, but like it also depends on kind of the career that you're thinking of too, right? Like I think in some ways, like sometimes it's just the idea of getting the piece of paper that says that you have the certification. So like in certain ways, like getting to that point, you don't have to maybe go to the fanciest of schools, right, for that sort of thing. But the pressures are on to get into these programs that are so involved. But at the end of the day, the kids are still the kids, and they're not going to change that much just because you want them to majestically change. But I feel like what Sarah's bringing up, I think down the road, I think we should definitely do an episode on college prep because this stuff seems like
she's gonna be the expert because I have no clue what I'm in for.
I'm not really an expert either because did you just give my story? I don't know what's going on.
But some of the stuff that I think we noticed too is like this overly shift in this idea of being like soaked in screen time, and this idea of like Chromebooks and things everywhere. It's something else. Like you would be surprised, like doing things your own way. I think kind of, Mike and Sarah, we talk about this sometimes, is like teaching this idea of like having conversations and looking people in the eye and like doing things by hand, and some of that lost skill of like building stuff out of paper and having little projects, things that aren't related to the Chromebook, I think are even now, I think just this idea, because there's so much of it, having your kids learn some little things like cooking or getting their hands dirty and that sort of thing really puts them at an advantage where you probably don't think that way, where maybe giving them a chance to kind of just play around and have some other skills socially and hands-on stuff really, I think, sets them apart in a sense,
I'm looking at like the games that my kids play on like the on Roblox and stuff like that. One of the games is like, I don't know, some brain rot thing. I forgot the name of it, right? I think it is actually called Brain Rot or something like that. But
yeah, it's like a new
and like my kids sound like they're speaking a different language from like what they learned from this game. Like
they are, because they're talking.
I love it.
they're becoming internationally.
It is mind blowing how much they've memorized, how much they understand with like this game and what it all means and the different language. And I'm like thinking back to when, and then, you know, I was like, just happened to be looking at social media and it made me think back to like when I was a kid. And this clip came up of the Mighty Ducks and one of the movies. And I always liked the Mighty Ducks. It was like that hockey.
I love the Mighty Ducks.
The kids or whatever. Yeah, but there was one where the coach is like talking about how, you know, it's not about the game, it's about life, and like gave this like really motivational life speech. And I'm like, wow, I grew up, you know, watching these shows with like these kind of like life speeches on like life is tough, you got to keep going, don't give up, you know. And then my daughter is learning brain rot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
You know, like what happened? What happened?
Yes.
Like where?
That is so true.
You know,
do you remember?
I
do you
don't
remember
know.
Best of the Best? That movie. You had to be the best of the best. It was like a martial arts like fighting.
Oh wait, only the strong?
No, it's called Best of the Best.
Oh, was it? Okay, I was thinking of the one to do capoeira. This is something else. Okay.
Oh,
anyway, like, but that was like again that had like that story of like you've got to put forth your best and like do stuff.
Yes.
And then
yes.
then there's RoboCop, like, you know, like you die at work and then they resurrect you to go back to work, you know, like
Oh, that's like
it was like work ethics, you know.
Oh man, that is hysterical.
Then you got these kids saying cappuccino, a ballerina, cappuccino,
ballerina, whatever.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I love it. Like,
it's
I love
just frustrating.
saying it, but, like,
cappuccino,
you know?
you don't know what's going on.
Yes. Well,
I know.
Like quickly on the brain rot, it was so random, like side quest story. What was it? Julie and I were like la la la, like we we're talking, like saying all the random stuff, and then we're like, Jean comes into the room and we're like, oh, la polizia, and Jean got so insulted.
Oh really?
He was like,
that's really funny.
why are you saying I'm the police? And I'm like, we're just joking
God,
around. It's a brain rot, but like, oh.
That's a brain rot.
Oh my god, that's great. That is so funny. Just
But
the
yeah, so
idea
he
of
was
like
speaking
Gene
it.
feels like I feel like Gene's becoming the butt of the jokes a lot lately.
I know, poor Jean. But yeah, we were just like, whoops.
Burrito Bandito, man, you know?
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about a couple quick little tips, maybe that, you know, since we're kind of talking about all this variety of things and pressures, you know, this way we don't come across like crotchety old people. A couple things, maybe some ways for you guys to maybe opt out of unrealistic expectations. You know, some things that are kind of over the top is teaching your kid to set boundaries, you know, set boundaries with work. Sometimes the truth of the matter is that you are replaceable no matter what. So how much you think you are, so much that you think you're a special snowflake, you need to keep some of that energy for yourself and your family, and them seeing that you're setting some boundaries and putting the computer down so you can spend time with them is probably a good thing that will help them set themselves up for a better situation. Maybe just simplifying activities for yourself, right? You don't need to have everything perfect. Make it simple. You having fun? You having fun with that perfection? Maybe not. Maybe they just want a piece of paper and draw some stuff, right? And then as parents, I feel like we can definitely model imperfection. We could laugh at our mistakes. Our kids are laughing at us still, apparently.
Yes.
Remember that one time you made really bad meatballs? Yes, I know. I get it. We had peanut butter jelly that night. But, you know.
Or you had a bad appetizer.
And also, I think, exactly. And also that last thing I think that maybe we need to keep in mind is just saying no to the comparison. It doesn't matter what the families are doing. It doesn't matter. Because we always say this on Facebook, that beautiful one picture, there were 350 bad ones and they were all arguing before that one.
Correct.
Vacations and family stuff, it's changed over the years. You can have fun doing the things that you want to do. But I will say one thing that's kind of changed, I think, for us at least, is this mentality of like when you could bring your kids to certain places. I think like growing up, I think like my parents were like, oh, we're not going overseas with you. You could do that when you're older. I feel like now there's so much more of like a feeling of like family and what's important. I guess at the end of the day, I think Mike Levine, you said it best. You do you. If you want to bring your kids on a grand voyage, you want to go somewhere special, you know, you do your thing. You bring them to Europe. You go on a big road trip. You do what feels right because, you know, they're going to grow up. They're going to leave the house and maybe you're going to wish you did do that stuff. So maybe you do it and that's
Yeah.
it. But
Well said, buddy.
this
Well
is it.
said.
This podcast, we don't know what we're doing. We figure it out. And the truth of the matter is, so do you. And that's okay too. So give yourself a moment to say it's okay and it's going to be all right, because we're all trying to figure this stuff out together. So
it's all part of the
without further
experience.
ado, I think it is time for us to jump on over, because we need a little moment to pull our brains back together. So we're going to shift it over to this part of the show. It's called Time to Unplug. This is where we take a moment to talk about things that are going on outside of the children, even if they're laying in our bed next to us, because sometimes we just have to do something for ourselves as parents, because we'll be a better we if we take care of me. So Sarah D, what do you got this week?
Oh man, I'm watching, or I watched what everyone's been talking about, is Monster.
Oh,
with
you
the
watched
Ed
it.
Gein.
Oh, baby.
Ooh, Lord. Okay, one, this is like not for children, even if they're like interested into true crime, because Julian had a tap out. He was like, because after like episode 1, he's like, I don't think this is for me. And I was like, yes, please leave. So no kids around. And like maybe like this is an iPad watch. Like you, like if you have little ones roaming around, this is not like it's gory, it's gross,
This
it's
is like
disturbing.
an iPad with like you put the screen on that doesn't let anyone see it from the side.
Yes, like like you might need to wash your eyeballs afterwards, because it
Wow.
really and truly it's up there. It's weird. Even Jean was like, "This is really weird." I'm like, "It is. It truly is." But if you like that, this is for you.
I have good news. I will not be taking Sarah's advice this week. I will not be watching this show.
Oh, and we don't know who Ed Gein is. If you have not heard, or you're living under a rock, like Patrick Starr, he is a known, not a serial killer, but he is a man who is mentally disturbed, and he did some horrific things with corpses and stuff like that. So like, yeah, he is, but he inspired many other monsters from other scary movies like Chainsaw Massacre, and like even probably like Jeepers Creepers. Like he just inspired a lot of American Psycho. So like he was the inspiration,
Wow.
sadly, for a lot of those horror movies.
Perfect October kind of show.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch a comedy. You do what you want to do. Oh man, Mike Levine, what do you got this week?
So I have Star Wars Visions Volume 3. It's coming out. I'm super excited for this. It's coming out October 29th. I know, as you guys know, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Hey, don't you apologize for that.
But I need to mention it because like it's really cool. It's a different spin on Star Wars. It's an anime series for those who are into anime, but it's like it's these different styles of Japanese animation, and it's all these different little, like, I want to say 20-minute like kind of stories that are all within
like
the Star Wars
anthology, right?
universe. Yeah, and it is so cool. Like every year, every season, there's been 3. Like, I mean, there's been 2 so far, and the third one comes out October 29th again. But like every season has been amazing, and I've loved it, and I can't wait to see it this in a couple days soon.
Nice.
you
And
know?
it's kind of like Black Mirror, where each episode is not connected to the other ones, right? I mean, it's all Star Wars, but it's their own spin on it, and
it's all Star Wars. It's connected that way, but it's its own little story for each episode.
Cool.
You know. What do you got going on, Mike?
I have to report back on Wednesday. I cheated this week. It's Parenting Unplugged, but it's Parenting Unplugged Junior this time. So we watched Wednesday. What I guess it was the second half of season 2. I don't think it's season 3. I think it's part 2 of season 2. I loved it. It was so good. I wasn't totally sure when I watched the first couple episodes of Wednesday, the first half of the season. It was like, it found its own footing, and then I really liked it by the end of the first 4 episodes. This one really it was one of those things where there was some plot armor going on at the end of the end of the first half of season 2, where like they were waiting until this other half for things to kind of wrap up. But yeah, the way that they kind of got to, yes, I see. The way the kids are down here with me, it's wild. They're watching Descendants. Ethan's son's iPad. They really do a good job of connecting things, and I really like that, because like if you haven't seen Wednesday isn't just a comedy about the Addams family. Wednesday is really like if you took like a detective mystery and mixed it into that universe. And like the moment where they take Wednesday, they send her away to like a private school that's like all about like where kids go that have like these other powers and things of like the supernatural. Once they do that, then like she's removed from her family. Like they come by, they do things, but it's really more of like a mystery of what's going to happen and her unraveling stuff. And she's a great version of like a detective because the way that she figures things out. And Jenna Ortega is great with her personality. They do a good job of like revealing things this season where like they save like a little bit of stuff for like cliffhangers, but they also save like these little aha reveal moments, which make it kind of fun and make you really interested. And they're obviously doing a season 3 with the way that they kind of like wrap things up in season 2. So I'm digging it. I like it. I'm a Wednesday fan, and now I'm a Lady Gaga fan too.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it because I haven't watched it yet because I've watched season 1. I just didn't catch up on season 2 yet. So
hey, listen, you can watch the Ed Gein documentary for October thematics, or you can watch this.
Or something a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, lighthearted like a serial killer
Star Wars
documentary.
Visions.
I think we're just about out of time, and this episode has been fun hanging out with Sara and Mike and talking about the pressures that people feel with modern day parenting. All the apps, all the feelings, keeping up with the Joneses, making those school projects perfect, getting your kids into college. And I feel like I'm going to induce a panic attack to our listeners. But we're going to take a moment to thank our listeners and supporters for donating to the show. If you want to support this show so we can keep making episodes like this one, we have a link to donate in the show notes. If you don't have the means to do so, we really appreciate you tell your friends, your family about this podcast so we can reach more listeners. Maybe you can learn from them, they can learn from us in this growing community. And if you get a chance, please leave us a review in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This way other people can find the podcast. We can't wait to explore this parenting thing again with you next week with Hey the Parents, because every week is an honest discussion about raising kids. Don't forget to hug your kids and charge those Chromebooks. That's going to do it for me, for Mike, and for Sara, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Boy. Hey the Parents, produced by Mike Levine, Sara Desirvines, and me, Michael Heit. I edit and mix our show. Our intro voice recording was done by the one and only Coltrane. If you like our show, we hope you consider going to the show notes to help support the podcast. Check the show notes for social media information and contacts, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Yes, my love. What? I'm too loud? That's your problem? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well then.
Sorry to offend you and your space.
What I'm talking about, we need a break. We need a break. We need a break.
Looks like I'm leaving the podcast. I'm done with children.